So I was having all these really heavy, deep thoughts while I'm prepping my food. And I just thought I wanted to share them with you. Because saying goodbye, it's not just a programming. It's really not. It's a part of humanity. Because when we're in human form, especially people who don't believe that there's anything after this, it's interesting how all different people perceive what it's like to be human. And I started thinking about how I feel like I've been feeling like I've been watching my family disintegrate right before me. My blood and bone, and my soul family. Those that may not have been born into my blood and bone, but feel more like my blood and bone. And so I've just been watching how people are starting to fade away again from my life, and I was thinking about how my parents got divorced, and it was like 1 minute we were, may not have been the most perfect family, but there was still a unit of me, my brother, sister, and our mother and father, until finally my parents got divorced when I was 12. But I just remember the disintegration of our family unit and how much it changed me, and how I felt that day that I had become a ghost. And then when my parents would fight over me, and not for a good thing, for it was more about money, it was more about power, and I always kind of felt like a pawn in this weird game between my parents. And even with my siblings, I started to notice us playing off each other, trying to, be the best one, be the leader. It was just a weird thing. So I started thinking about, just now, I was just thinking about how I'm starting to feel that way again, that ghost feeling, because I've never felt this close to my family. Well, I've felt this close to my family breaking up before, but I didn't really think of them, I didn't think of us as a family at the time. I thought of us as me and Baba and him. And then when Alder and I were betrothed, everything changed, and we became a family, a real family. So much has happened since then. And now it's coming up on 4 years since we had that ceremony. It'll be 4 years in November. And I'm just having all these really deep thoughts about what's really happening, in my family, and what it feels like to be a ghost in your own life. And I think for light workers and those who feel different, I think a lot of us have felt like ghosts in our own life for a very long time. And so emerging from the shadows doesn't always feel comfortable. And in real time, it's Friday the 13th in September, and there's so much happening on the planet. And I'm just observing as much as I can and watching as much as I can. And I feel like I'm waiting, just waiting. I don't know 100% sure know what for, but I feel like I'm just waiting. And so all I can say is, if you feel like you're in the waiting room too, just do things every day that make you happy. I was just feeling kind of depressed and feeling low and the weather has shifted officially, and I had so many different plans for today, and they just didn't go the way I wanted them to go. They sadly just didn't go the way I wanted them to go. And that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. And I realize that all I can do for myself right now is eat what makes me happy and eat as healthy as I can. Watch things that bring joy and love and hope to my heart. Stay away from the darkness, the shadow, because there's so much of it out there. So this, I don't know what this was for or what this was about, but I feel like somebody needed to hear this message that you're not alone. And even though we may all be alone right now, we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be alone so that we can really connect to ourselves in spirit. Spend more time not listening to anything. No music, no television, no people. Be in nature as much as possible. Connect to the earth as much as possible. Let go of those negative thoughts, the monkey mind, the chatter that's telling you, if there's anything in your mind that's telling you there's something wrong with you or telling you that something is whatever, it's not. It's old programming. Or it could be that someone, if you're thinking about someone and it's not positive, it could be that they're not thinking positive about themselves right now. And if you're an empath or a sensitive, it could be that you're feeling really strongly what they are omitting, and it may read back differently to you. So be mindful of that too. If you're feeling negative thoughts or feelings about someone else, send them love. Just send them love. Send them healing energy. Don't let the darkness, especially their darkness, dominate. We are on the precipice of a very, very profound, very heavy, very dark eclipse season. When I looked down, it was 717. So take from that what you will. But there are so many things that are happening and changing on the planet right now. So many things. And it's going to feel uncomfortable, and we need to do our best to step outside of our comfort zone. When I looked down, it was 737. Yeah. I'm like itching my head, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the spirits have been like literally like just trying to tell us like that we're okay, but there's also a shadow that's going to keep coming for us right now, especially the ones that walk in the light, and like where light is natural for us. If there's people around us that are eclipsing us or being a shadow, it's probably a good idea not to, be around them, bump uglies with them, as they would say, right? Because it would be, if you're having sex with someone like that, it could just be your darkness. And, unless you're prepared to go in and really do the work, if you're feeling fragile right now, it might not be a good time to do that. That's why it's a good time to spend time alone and do the inner work. Let me tell you, I was so excited because there's one of the last drive-ins. There's not that many drive-ins left in the world, but we're blessed to be close to one, and they're showing Beetlejuice. And since I saw the original in the theater, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds so awesome. And my partner and I, the last time we saw each other, we were like, yeah, let's go see that together. That'll be so much fun. And then I realized we agreed to go on Sunday night. I'm like, I don't know if that's actually the best idea for us to, I don't know. We'll see what happens when it gets closer. Oddly, sometimes he and I, when I think it's going to be really heavy or dark, it ends up being like really rad. So you never know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to let Spirit figure that one out. But right now, today in real time, and tomorrow, it's just supposed to be rainy and shitty weather. And I was like, oh, but the day that we're supposed to go, it's supposed to be really nice out. So we'll see what happens. But I thought, isn't that funny that it's not like we're going to see, like last year we went and saw the new Indiana Jones there, and we were like, oh, how fun, No, this is like kind of a dark, twisted, part of the consciousness, of Tim Burton. But anyway, just be mindful of like what's going on. Not paranoid, not avoidance, but being mindful. You know, if it feels good, do it. You know, it could be that for some reason, sometimes the way that our energies align, it's actually good that day. A day that you think might not be that good ends up being really great, right? Like today, I wanted to do something with them in nature, and I was like, "Oh, it's Friday the 13th. I want to go honor the goddess. I want to go into the woods and blah blah." Yeah, the weather is shit. I wouldn't want to do that today. That wouldn't feel good to me. Ooh, when I looked down, it was 10:10. Because it's about completion. It's about letting things go. It's about moving forward. There are so many things that are happening right now. I genuinely, I mean, I may still do readings today. I don't know, but I had a whole different thing planned. But the divine masculine and the divine feminine are like, it is more than it's like literally, especially in my country, in the United States, it's like watching both of these, you know, humans running for president, and one is divine masculine representative and one is divine feminine representative. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like who wrote this shit? I'm like, did I write this? Right? Because we're all the star in our own show, so I'm like, what's gonna happen? Like, it's very, very interesting and exciting. When I looked down, it was 10:56, because 5 and 6 is also 11. So it's like ones across the boards. It's about new beginnings. It's about change. And it's about tearing down the darkness of the infrastructure that doesn't need to be there. We all have shadow. We all have light. But, you know, it's like what you do with it, right? My mom used to say, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Oh, and I looked down, it was 11:22. Exactly. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know, that's why we have to, you know, think for ourselves. Which is ironic that that came from my mother, who was a devout Christian of a faith that basically told her that she could love me, but like, you know, if she had to choose her religion over me, she did. She literally outwardly chose her religion over me, because her religion told her that I'm riddled with demons and darkness. And yeah, very interesting. I'm here to break down a paradigm, and so are you. So, with that being said, go through it. You got to get to it by going through it. I said it forever, and it is the truth. And just because we're light workers or star seeds or those that are here to uplift, you know, we still have our days too. We still have our times too. So work through it and get it out. I mean, I screamed so loud this morning that I was like, I hope my neighbors didn't hear that. I mean, I'm pretty far from people, and it's kind of chilly, and most people are probably inside today, but I screamed so loud. I was grateful that Bubba was outside, but I just needed to get it out. I was like, I just needed to fucking scream. And I cried really hard, and it felt really good. And I feel like there's a lot of, especially the divine feminine, I feel like it's going to be screaming out. I feel like so much is going to, there's so much happening right now. There's so much happening right now. It's unbelievable. And it's really cool if you take it as that and not take it as, you know, the sky is falling. Get out of Chicken Little mode. It's okay to feel it. You need to feel it. We're human. But we are ghosts no longer. We are here for a reason and a purpose. And know that I love you. But keep trying. Keep working towards who you are and what your purpose is. Listen to that. I don't know where my throat chakra just came out. 1323, and then I went to 1324. So I love it. 13, baby. That's right. There's a lot going on. So tap into your divine feminine. Come from love. That's all you can do. That's all any of us can do, is love each other and ourselves. But first and foremost, love ourselves. All right, you guys. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be.